For my colleagues who are here, just a reminder that when we play the videos, spotlight the screen while it's playing to get a full screen view. You would have to do it that way. I know this because we just had dress rehearsal.
Council President, can you repeat that?
Yes. So sometimes when we have presenters, they'll use a share screen feature. And because this is actually going to be coming from the council chambers square, when the video plays, you'll need to like spotlight that square in order for it to show up on your whole screen. On the TV and live streaming, it will automatically go onto the full screen. But just for us watching the meeting, it will take that extra step. And it's a fantastic video, so you don't want to miss it. Okay. Before we get started, does anyone want to, maybe Brian? Maybe I should ask Brian. Hey, Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
When we start our city council meeting, we do a roll call and then we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you and your girls like to lead the Pledge of Allegiance today for us?
I know it by heart.
Willow says she knows it by heart.
Because we have to do it at school.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll all mute ourselves, and I'll just say, you know, we have some special guests. It's Brian and Summer and Willow.
Correct.
And you have a flag in your
Yep.
view, so that's perfect too.
Yep.
Great idea, Council President Brennan.
Well, the marketing worked. So I'll just say that Brian and Summer and Willow will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll all mute up, and then you will take it away, and then we'll move back to the our agenda. Thank you for what did they say? Voluntold. We voluntold you to do that.
Just like the Army.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna get going here. Sherry, you ready?
I am.
All right. The St. Paul City Council will come to order. Roll call.
Tolbert.
Here.
Yang.
Here.
Jalali.
Here.
Naker.
Here.
Prince. Here. Tao.
Here.
Council President Brennan.
Here.
7 present, no one absent.
Please, today we have a special guest, Brian and Summer and Willow, who will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand and mute your mics, and we'll let Brian and Willow and Summer lead the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was awesome. Thanks so much.
Consent agenda items 5 through 17 are before you for your consideration.
I believe that item 14, no,
13.
Oh, yes, actually, let me just ask, are there any items that need to be taken separately? It sounds like none. Okay, so Mr. Tolbert moves the consent agenda.
Council President, it was my understanding that item 13 was going to be withdrawn.
Well, that's why I asked if there was anything to come off consent.
Okay.
No.
No?
Yes.
All right, so Mr.
you.
Tolbert moves the consent agenda.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Tolbert.
Yes.
Yang.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince. Aye. Tao.
Aye.
Council President Brennan.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The consent agenda is adopted.
Colleagues, if it is all right with you, I would like to propose that we move items, switch the order of items 19 and items 18. We have our special Pledge of Allegiance guests here also to help us recognize Veterans Day. And so since they're on the call, there's been a request to push them in advance of our business awards. And so if that is all right, we will move on with number 19.
Item number 19, Resolution 20-1537, recognizing Veterans Day, November 11th, 2020.
Ms. Prince. Whoops, before you get too far, Ms. Prince, you have your mute on.
There I go, making it the most popular phrase of 2020. In any event, I will read the resolution and then I will introduce our special guests. This resolution is recognizing Veterans Day on November 11th, 2020, 1 week from today. Whereas the City of St. Paul supports peace, inclusion, and prosperity for all people. And whereas we have just recently completed an election and exercised our right to vote, and those rights and freedoms were attained and preserved through the sacrifice and devotion of our nation's veterans. And whereas the City of St. Paul expresses heartfelt gratitude to the women and men who serve our nation in defense of our rights and freedoms, and recognizes the unique contributions of the families, friends, neighbors, agencies, and employers who support our veterans. And whereas the City of St. Paul has many veteran employees, including those who are currently serving our nation around the globe or are preparing for upcoming deployments, and in 2019 established the Veterans Employee Resource Network, VEARN, to ensure an inclusive workplace for veterans. And whereas this council takes tremendous pride in recognizing all the veterans who work for the City of St. Paul, now therefore be it resolved that the St. Paul City Council recognizes and honors Veterans Day, November 11th, 2020, by publicly thanking all veterans for their dedication, sacrifice, and willingness to ensure our continued peace, prosperity, and democratic freedoms. And with that, I would like to introduce our Brian Balfans, who works in our St. Paul Police Department as a crime analyst. Brian is here with his two daughters, Summer, who joined us for this occasion last year, and Willow. The Balfans family is doing distance learning at home, and this is such a great opportunity for them to see their dad at work, and for all of us to thank Brian for the work he did to spearhead the Veterans Employee Resource Network. And so with that, Brian, I just wanted to turn it over to you and your girls for a few words about how the VERN is going and any other thoughts you have for Veterans Day.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Prince, Councilmember Brenmoen, and the rest of the council. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank the other members of the VERN, the Veteran Employee Resource Network Committee, as well as Chief Axtell and Deputy Chief Maidment for their support, and as well as your leadership, as well as the Mayor's Office Human Resource Director, Tony Newborn, in helping us take something that was just an idea and make it a reality. And hopefully when we pass through this year of COVID, we'll be able to do more in-person activities to create that shared environment, that camaraderie that so many veterans, as well as the family members who work at the city, who may have people that are serving their children, their grandchildren, their spouses. So we're trying to be broad and inclusive. So our goals are to reflect what the veterans themselves are looking to accomplish in 2021. And I just want to again say thank you to you, Councilmember Prince, and Council President Brenmoen, for letting us have this moment. and to publicly thank veterans, because it is meaningful for them to feel that recognition. And we have one last thing we'd like to add. For anyone who happens to be born on November 11th, we would like to say,
Happy birthday.
thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. If there's no other questions, then we will excuse ourselves.
Well, thank you. And don't excuse yourselves until I move approval of the resolution. And thank you for your wonderful drafting of that resolution, Brian. It really is beautiful. And as you know, I read most of it, but I cut to the chase a bit. But thank you. It's a beautiful resolution, and I hereby move approval.
Council President, you're on mute.
All right, so Ms. Prince has moved approval, and I extend gratitude for the guest stars on the Pledge of Allegiance as well. That was heartwarming. So with the motion, we will have a roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Take care. Happy Veterans Day.
Item number 18, Resolution 20-1482, honoring the recipients of the 2020 St. Paul Business Awards.
Well, thanks for shifting these two items. I think we wanted to make sure that we had the proper amount of time and space for this business award. So I'd like to first welcome the winners and guests from the fourth annual St. Paul Business Awards who are watching this virtual awards presentation, which is live stream on the City Council's meeting page. It's live stream, but you can also watch it there later. So if you're missing this live streaming action, feel free to check in later to watch the videos and the full stream. St. Paul is home to a rich and diverse business community, and in light of COVID, our business communities are working harder than ever. The 2020 Business Awards have 4 categories that pay homage to these outstanding business partners. These categories are the Traditions Award, the New Kid on the Block Award, the Good Neighbor Business Award, and the People's Choice Award. The process for this award starts with the business being nominated online by the public, and then the business is invited to apply for award consideration. These applications were then sorted and reviewed by a selection committee. This year, we had 40 eligible businesses that were considered by the selection committee. Members of the selection committee are made up of past winners, and they have been invited to view this virtual presentation. And they are Tom Johnson from A. Johnson and Sons Florist, Melissa Silva Diaz, El Burrito Mercado, Rian Ham from Securian Financial, Ryan Hughesby from Tongue in Cheek, Bill Pavlak from Urban Growler Brewing Company, and Scott Ferris from Wet Paint. Finally, not finally really, but as we move on, I would like to thank the many city staff who helped with this business awards process, as well as council members and Mayor Carter, Councilmember Rebecca Naker, Mayor Carter and his staff, Peter Leggett and Joan Phillips. The wards 1 through 7 legislative aides, Mai Chang Zhang, Tina Mackey, Melanie McMahon, Matt Pravratsky, Hua Jung Kim, Dia Vang, and Stephanie Har, with promoting the awards for nomination. DSI Licensing Inspector Ross Hadda with background research, OTC Media Services Amanda Green, Gunsel and Nick Nelson for putting together the video presentation today. Council Research Intern Veronica Valdez Perez, Council Staff Trudy Maloney, Sherry Moore, Raquel Naylor, Janice Peterson, and Nia Vang. And Nia Vang helped me with these comments, and so she has played down her role a bit in these business awards. And I do want to stop and really call out Nia for the tremendous amount of work that she put into getting these business awards to this place today and over the finish line. So applause to you, Nia. Thank you. I know there was a point in the middle of COVID where there was a question of, should we still do this? And the overwhelming answer was yes, it's so important to do it now, even more than ever. And Nia stepped up and made it happen. So thank you so very much. At this time, I would like to invite council members from wards 1, 2, and 7 to say a few words about the winners from their awards. We will begin with, and the 2020 winners are going to be presented in ward order. So let's start with Ward 1, Councilmember Dai Tao.
Thank you, Council President. As you have mentioned, this is a very challenging time in our city, and I know that the city staff, PD, with the Mayor Carter's their ability to come up with the bridge fund to help small businesses. But this award goes more than that. This is about sharing with the community that this is a time where we need to help our restaurant. This is a time where we need to help the local mom and shop, the local businesses. They play a very significant role in our city, and sometimes it's overlooked. And so with COVID-19, I think this is a reminder how interconnected we are, that the small business is connected to the neighborhood's connected to the city, and we have to help each other. We have to bring that balance and harmony of economic prosperity to all of our city. And all these small business, they play a significant role in that. And so very honored to have this opportunity to support and make sure that we continue to cheer on these small businesses and big businesses so that we are, in a way, the city council, we're ambassador of the city, and we want people to come and do business in St. Paul. St. Paul's got a great restaurant, great mom and pop shop, and you want to go to a place where everybody knows your name, and that's St. Paul. So I want to thank everybody for their work on this.
Council President, you're on mute.
Whoops. As we shift gears here then, Mr. Tao, do you have, we have Flannery Construction from Ward 1. Do you have the comments on that section as well?
Yeah, so
right.
I've been tracking Flannery Construction, and they do great work, and they're right off of right near St. Anthony there, right across from Concordia. If you drive past that area, they have a very unique design to the building, and that's the kind of boldness that they have, and the kind of relationship that they built with their clients. And so it's also women owned, and those are the kind of business that we want to continue to have in St. Paul. And congratulations to Flannery Construction.
Wonderful. Ms. Nicker.
Thank you so much, Council President, and just want to echo Councilmember Tao's comments before I introduce the two winners for my ward. I'm very excited about this. Just to say that when we started the business awards 4 years ago now, it's hard to believe how quickly time has flown. We knew businesses needed an opportunity to be recognized. We knew that we don't say thank you often enough to our business owners in St. Paul that make our city so great, but I could not have imagined a year like this one where it is so important to be supporting our businesses. So really, really excited that we are doing this and that we kept this going this year, despite the challenges. So I am thrilled now to be recognizing, again, two businesses in my ward. The first one is Candyland, which has received this year's Traditions Award, and which recognizes a business that has been active in St. Paul for at least 20 years. Candyland has been open since 1932, significantly longer than 20 years. For 88 years, it has been creating a fun and family-oriented experience, not only for St. Paul residents, but guests from all over the Midwest. Many of them, like my family, headed to the Children's Museum, have to stop at Candyland on the way there or back or both. Candyland has become a family tradition for generations and continues to introduce new family members to their specialty popcorn and more than 200 homemade and manufacturer direct candies. Walking into a Candyland store gives off an old-time feel that residents and guests will remember. As one fan stated, it's like stepping back in time with all sorts of old-fashioned candies, popcorns, and taffy. Candyland hires young people who start working in high school and continue to work there through college, and is committed to training their young employees about developing a healthy work ethic that would help carry them through adulthood. Because of their support of young people, Candyland is a strong sponsor of the Children's Museum, St. Jude's Research Hospital, Shrine Circus, and many other worthy causes, mostly dealing with children. Thank you for your great business and continued effort in bettering the youth of our community that you are a part of, and congratulations to Candyland. And then I think I just keep going, right, Council President, to my next award?
Yep.
All right. And so this second award that I'm honored to present is to Jandrich Floral and to Ashley Weed, the owner. I'd like to congratulate Jandrich Floral for being this year's People's Choice Award recipient. The People's Choice Award recognizes a business for its excellence by St. Paul residents. Jandrich Floral is a locally owned floral business that has been operating in the West 7th neighborhood for more than 48 years. Ms. Weed took over the business from Larry Jandrich, who previously operated the business for 40 years before he retired. Much like the previous owner, Ms. Weed continues to offer same-day delivery for most orders and provide a wide variety of flowers, beautiful floral arrangements and houseplants, as well as mylar balloons, stuffed animals, and greeting cards to their customers. Jandrich Floral aims to create a positive and supportive work environment. Employees are encouraged to be creative and involved in design decisions, including seeking more skills training. Jandrich also offers a flexible work schedule so that younger employees can further their education while earning a living. The business is committed to building an inclusive community and is often involved in various community causes. Jandrich also believes in giving back to the community and are proud sponsors of different charity events for Our Lady of Peace Home, Shalom Home, and St. Stanislaus Church. Thank you for your dedication in giving back to the community and representing the best of St. Paul. We wish you continued success and congratulations.
Fantastic. Thank you. And finally, before we see the video, we will go to Ward 7 and Ms. Prince.
Thank you, Council President Brenmo. It is my great pleasure to congratulate Karibu Grocery and Deli for being this year's New Kid on the Block recipient that recognizes a business that has been active in St. Paul for less than 5 years. Abdulwali Ali and his family opened this family-run business in 2018. Karibu is a restaurant and a convenience store located in one of St. Paul's most multicultural, diverse neighborhoods. Neighbors are so happy that the Alis have successfully transformed a once considered blighted property to a gathering spot now popular for its East African specialties and popular Somali chai tea. Karibu means welcome in Swahili, and because St. Paul is a welcoming city, Karibu strives to build a place where residents feel welcome and comfortable to shop, eat, and socialize. Karibu is also actively involved in the community and often provides free catering to multiple youth activities and events throughout the year. Last year, they did a huge Thanksgiving event out of their business that was phenomenal. In addition, they started a program called Grades and Tastes, which focuses on mentoring 5 to 10 young people from the neighborhood each school quarter. Abdulwali and his family believe in treating his employees and customers equally and with respect. He considers his employees as members of his family and enjoys introducing his neighbors to quote unquote East African food that leaves a smile. Thank you to Abdulwali and your wonderful family for your dedication to the St. Paul community and to your continued support of our youth. Congratulations. And I just want to add one thing. The Alis built their building on this site, and their contractor was Flannery Construction. So kind of a happy coincidence there today.
Well, and no surprise, that's like 2 community-focused businesses came together to do the cool project. So thanks for pointing that out. So without further delay, I would like to now present the Annual Business Awards video produced by Nick Nelson from the Office of Technology and Communications. Following that Business Award video, we will hear remarks from Mayor Carter and from the 4 winning businesses.
Large corporations, mom and pop shops, and everything in between. They're all part of what makes our city great. And the St. Paul City Council recognizes that with the St. Paul Business Awards. The awards were created to let all business owners know that the city appreciates the hard work they do. Nominations are accepted in 4 categories. A selection committee made up of past award recipients chooses the winners. And the winners of the 2020 St. Paul Business Awards are: Flannery Construction takes home the Good Neighbor Business Award, which recognizes a commitment to improve the community. Flannery Construction has operated in St. Paul since 1980 and is led by owner and president Jamie Flannery. The second-generation family-owned company builds and renovates housing, offices, historical buildings, and more. Flannery Construction is active in its community and supports minority and women-owned businesses through their subcontracting. The Traditions Award, honoring a business at least 20 years old, is given to a St. Paul institution, Candyland, and its owners, Brenda and Doug Lamb. Since 1932, customers have come from all over to enjoy their specialty popcorn and more than 200 homemade and manufactured direct candies. Famous for its Chicago Mix popcorn, Candyland is a woman-owned business that employs about 50 people. Candyland is a strong sponsor of the Children's Museum, St. Jude's Research Hospital, Shrine Circus, and many other worthy causes. The People's Choice Award is for a business that is recognized for excellence by St. Paul residents and goes to Jandrich Floral in the West 7th neighborhood. Owner Ashley Weed took over from Larry Jandrich, who ran the business for 40 years before he retired. Ashley offers same-day delivery for most orders and provides a wide variety of floral arrangements, cards, and gifts. Jandrich Floral believes in giving back to the community and are proud sponsors of different charity events for the Our Lady of Peace Home, Shalom Home, and St. Stanislaus Church. The New Kid on the Block Award for a business less than 5 years old goes to Karibu Grocery and Deli and its owner, Abdowali Ali. Mr. Ali opened the part restaurant, part convenience store in 2018, known for its East African food and popular chai tea. Karibu means welcome in Swahili. Abdowali has transformed a former blighted property into a popular neighborhood gathering place where residents feel welcome to shop, eat, and socialize. Karibu is also actively involved in the community and often provides free catering to multiple youth activity events throughout the year.
Hello, I'm Amy Brunmone, President of the St. Paul City Council, and on behalf of myself and my colleagues, I would like to congratulate the Business Award winners for 2020, as well as the nominees who were represented by their communities. We know in these challenging pandemic times, businesses have had to struggle, but also evolve and change in order to meet the needs of the community, and we so appreciate and value what they are doing to keep St. Paul strong. So again, congratulations and thank you.
Hi, I'm St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter. Amid this enduring public health and economic crisis, our continued partnerships, collaboration, and support among our public, private, and nonprofit sectors are vital to meeting the many needs of our community. Our small businesses remain a central part of this work and critical to sustaining the vitality of our city, from downtown to our commercial corridors and in every neighborhood across St. Paul. Our St. Paul Business Awards provide an opportunity to lift up those small businesses in our community who are making a difference. Today, we're thrilled to announce this year's winners. Their continued success, alongside all of our small businesses, remains as vital as ever in these challenging economic times. To everyone across our city, join me in continuing to support small businesses in every St. Paul neighborhood as we continue our work to ensure that no one gets left behind. Thank you. Stay safe, keep your masks on, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, St. Paul City Council, for this award. Flannery Construction is honored to have been a community member for the past 40 years. We love doing business in St. Paul, and we plan to be here for a long time.
Candyland would like to thank you for this honor of the 2020 St. Paul Business Award. Candyland has been downtown St. Paul for 89 years and plan to spend many, many more years in this great city.
Thank you so much for giving me the St. Paul Business Award. I really appreciate it. I love the West 7th neighborhood. Everybody's so friendly, and it's a pleasure doing business there, and I hope to stay here a long time.
Thank you for the award. We are very pleased to be able to invest in the Payne-Phelan community, same community that we grew up in and still reside at. We are looking forward to doing bigger things for the community and the youth, and hopefully we can do bigger things with the city. Thank you.
Wonderful. That is fantastic. Thank you and congratulations to all the
large
winners.
corporations, mom and pop shops, and everything in between. They're all part of what makes our city great. And the St. Paul City Council recognizes that.
That's why they made a mute button. Sometimes it comes in handy. So that is fantastic. And I want to, again, thank you and congratulate all of the winners. We also invite you and your guests and members of the public to share this video with your family and friends on social media so that it gets a more widespread viewing than just the 6 or so of us here on this meeting right now, because again, Nick Nelson did wonderful work and all the businesses looked fantastic on the video. You can certainly tell which footage is from before 2020, can't you? We obviously couldn't hold an in-person presentation and reception in council chambers, and we look forward to a time when we can do that again. And we hope in the meantime. Remember during the pandemic that we are truly all in this together. I know that some businesses have reached out to our offices looking for help and resources, and we want to encourage everyone to do that. Don't struggle alone. Reach out to the council offices, reach out to the mayor's office, reach out to other elected offices and partners and the local chambers of commerce. There are resources available to help with many things that you may be struggling with, and also tips and suggestions from other businesses who are working through these COVID struggles as well. So be sure that you're not doing this alone and that you're using your friends and family here in the city to help weather the storm. So with that, wrapping up our impersonal but actually quite warm and wonderful presentation, I would take a motion for approval from Ms. Naker. Is there any discussion on that motion? Ms. Yang.
Thank you. I don't have anything else to share other than the video just lit up like the biggest smile on my face. I loved hearing the closing remarks from the business owners and just hearing that they are so invested in our community and that they yearn to be here long term in St. Paul. Just fills my heart, and I feel all of the business owners are not here doing this to get an award, but they're doing this because they care so much about community, and they're putting action behind the type of values that they do want to see them living in, and for their community to be surrounded in. And so I think that they are just such wonderful community leaders, modeling what it looks like to not only run a thriving business, but to build their business around values related directly to our community, and make just creating so much progress for everyone. So I'm super grateful, and going to be leaving this council meeting in smiles all evening for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Yang. Other comments before we vote on Ms. Naker's motion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert.
Yes.
Yang.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item number 20, Resolution 20-1437, approving adverse action against a massage practitioner application submitted by Kao Bang for the premises located at 2140 Ford Parkway, laid over from October 28th.
All right. Is there any discussion on this item? Mr. Tolbert.
Yeah, at the request of my colleagues, can we lay this over to the next meeting, which I believe was 2 weeks from today?
November 18th?
Correct.
All right, so Mr. Tolbert has made a motion to move to lay item over until November 18th. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Nager,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenman.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is laid over to November 18th. Item 21 is first reading of ordinance 20-29, amending chapter 409 of the legislative code pertaining to the distance restriction between liquor license locations to reduce the location radius for off-sale wine only licensed locations. This ordinance is laid over to November 18th for second reading. Item number 22, ordinance 20-32, amending section 220.05 of the legislative code to set rates for base level garbage services to be effective January 1st, 2021, and changing the rate calculation from a rate that includes taxes to a rate that excludes taxes.
Thank you. And this is our third reading.
It's the
this is our
public hearing.
third reading public hearing. Thank you. This is a third reading public hearing, and we did flip things around a little bit and have a presentation the first time we read this item just to give folks information in advance of the 4-week reading period. Mr. Swanson is in the house if we have questions, but I don't think we'll do another full presentation. Are there questions for Mr. Swanson? Ms. Prince.
Thank you, Council President Brenman. I don't know that I have a specific question at this time. I have asked Mr. Swanson and his staff to look at if it's possible to do any kind of redistribution of the increased fees that would take into consideration some of the concerns that all of us, I believe all of us have expressed about the unintended consequences related to the 2 to 4 unit properties. I have a hunch that this will be hard to do, but I am bringing it up in response to some of the testimony that we received, and also to acknowledge that all of us, I think I can speak for all of us on this council, that it's our goal to continue to listen to the concerns of the community and to address the larger issues of the contract when we are able to begin renegotiation of a new contract in the next couple of years. But in any event, I wanted to acknowledge the request from one of the people who wrote in who asked us to consider that, and I am seeking that information from Mr. Swanson. Otherwise, I don't have any other comments, and thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Prince, and seconding your comments about continued commitment to a new contract. Any new contract that includes the changes that we've prioritized as a council and that we've heard from community members as a priority. And it appears it's probably more likely to turn up in the reiteration of this contract or a new RFP that goes out at the end of the term. But from now until then, I'm also committed to continuing to prioritize those changes that we have outlined and highlighted many times. So thank you for making that point. Other comments before we close the public hearing? All right, so Ms. Prince, recognizing that we have taken comments online, Ms. Prince would move to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenman.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the ordinance is laid over to November 18th for final adoption. Item 23, ordinance 20-33, creating the classification titled Deputy Director of Human Resources in the Unclassified Service pursuant to section 12.03.2H of the City Charter.
All right, and this is also a third reading public hearing. Ms. Newborn is here if folks have questions. To my colleagues to see if there's any questions. This has been noticed and comments have been made online. Oh, I see Ms. Prince has a question. Ms. Prince.
Yeah, I have a question for Ms. Newborn. I'm aware that this is a position that we are required to create by ordinance. And I guess my question is that in view of the budget concerns that we are coping with, I mean, the real crisis that we're dealing with in keeping the city moving forward in 2021, could you tell us when you are anticipating filling this position?
Yes. Council members, Council President Bryn Moyne, and Council Member Kent. Given the timing of the year and when I transitioned into this office as the Human Resources Director, we're running out of time with our hiring process. And so I'm not going to be able to hire this Deputy Director for this year. I anticipate being able to hire them hire this person at the beginning of the year. So sometime in January or February. So it'll come out of the 2021 budget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Prince. Are there other questions for Ms. Newborn? All right, seeing none, we have had taken public testimony by phone and online. And as such, Mr. Tolbert would move to close the public hearing. Any comments on that motion? Roll call.
Tolbert.
Yes.
Yang.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Council President Bryn Moyne.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the ordinance is laid over to November 18th for final adoption. Item 24, AHPC 20-2, public hearing to consider the appeal of William Garman Hargens and Mary Staples Thompson to the Heritage Preservation Commission decision of 540 Portland Avenue in the Historic Hill Heritage Preservation District.
And due to a notice issue, we have taken comments online and by phone, but we will need to move the public hearing to be continued until November 18th. So Mr. Tao would make that motion. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert.
Yes.
Yang.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Council President Bryn Moyne.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to November 18th. Item 25, Resolution Public Hearing 20-214, ratifying the assessments for benefits, costs, and expenses for the arcade case and the Grand Snelling parking lots operation and maintenance costs for 2021.
All right, and we this is a public hearing. We have accepted comments online and over the phone. Are there any further thoughts on this item? For Mr. Tolbert, I looked like I froze up there. Mr. Tolbert would move to close the public hearing. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
And would that be also to approve?
Oh, yep. I'm sorry, to close the public hearing and approve. Roll call.
Tolbert.
Yes.
Yang.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Council President Bryn Moyne.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 26, Resolution Public Hearing 20-215, ratifying the assessment for benefits, costs, and expenses for the 7th Place Mall operation and maintenance costs for 2019.
All right, this is a public hearing, and we've taken comments online and over the phone. As such, Ms. Naker would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 27, Resolution Public Hearing 20-225, establishing the water charges for 2021.
This is a public hearing. We have taken comments online and over the phone. We've also taken comments at the Board of Water Commissioners in a public hearing environment and also online. Is there, as such, Mr. Tolbert, Ms. Yang would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion?
Council President, this is the item that the public hearing can be closed, but then it gets laid over.
Thank you so much. So these are some of the end of the season gymnastics we're setting up for right now. So Ms. Yang would move to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince. Did you vote, Councilmember Prince?
Yes. Aye.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I
didn't hear you.
I heard aye.
Okay. Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is laid over to December 9th. Item 28, Resolution Public Hearing 20-252, setting the 2021 sanitary sewer and storm sewer rates.
And we have taken public testimony by phone and online. As such, Ms. Naker would move to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is laid over to December 9th. Item 29, Resolution Public Hearing 20-231, approving the petition of Beatrice Cruz to vacate a portion of Riverview Avenue abutting blocks 8 and 9 in the West St. Paul Real Estate and Improvement Syndicate Edition number 1.
All right. And Ms. Naker, did you need a staff report on this item?
I do not.
All right. So Ms. Naker would move to close the public hearing and approve. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item number 30, Resolution Public Hearing 20-234, approving Trunk Highway Routine Maintenance Agreement number 1044960 between the City of St. Paul and the State of Minnesota effective July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2021.
And Mr. Tao would move to close the public hearing and approve. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 31, Resolution Public Hearing 20-236, approving the application of Anderson Race Management for a sound level variance in order to present announcements and music on Saturday, November 7th for the Chocoholic Frolic 5K 10K and Kids Run and Walk at Harriet Island.
All right. And comments have been taken online. So Ms. Naker would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any comments or any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 32, Resolution Public Hearing 20-248, approving and authorizing the establishment of the Snelling Midway Renewal and Renovation Tax Increment Financing District in the St. Paul Neighborhood Redevelopment Project Area and adopting a tax increment financing plan therefore.
All right, and this matter had a staff report and discussion at the HRA meeting last week. So given that, Mr. Tao would move to close the public hearing and approve any discussion on that motion. Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 33, Resolution Public Hearing 20-250, authorizing the city to transfer $4,705,676 of coronavirus relief fund aid between specific project accounts and adjust police and fire budgets to reflect CRF aid usage for public safety employee payrolls.
All right, and we have Mr. McCarthy, I believe, here for just a quick staff report on this resolution, public hearing.
Council President, I'm going to defer to Ms. Logsdon, who's going to give the staff report today.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Welcome. Did you need the screen, or are you fine? Laura?
Yes, I do need the screen.
Okay, we might have to promote you. Sherry, can you do that?
I think I just did.
All right. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.
Are you able to see my
Yes.
slides?
Yep, we can see it.
Great. Well, thank you, Council President Brenmoen. Council members, my name is Laura Logsdon. I'm a budget analyst in the Office of Financial Services. I just have a few quick slides that I'll share regarding this resolution. For some quick context, the City of St. Paul received $23.5 million of CARES Act coronavirus relief funds through the state of Minnesota. Council has already approved 2 resolutions related to these funds. The first was the resolution that accepted the CRF allocation. The second budgeted the CRF funds for specific projects. This resolution that's before you today adjusts the CRF to reflect updated spending needs. And in just a minute, I will give you some more details on that. First, I wanted to share just a few examples of how the CRF funds that you have already approved are being spent. First, the city has spent $361,000 on distance learning support for the community organizations that are listed here. This includes technology upgrades, internet access, desks and supplies, and some staffing needs at these organizations to support distance learning that's happening in St. Paul right now. Next, the city has spent nearly $1 million to bridge the digital divide for St. Paul families. This includes investments in internet essentials, access to Chromebooks, tech packs, and upgrading exterior Wi-Fi at the city's libraries. I also just want to note the significant work that staff from libraries, the mayor's office, and the city attorney's office have put into these 2 specific initiatives to get them off the ground in such a quick fashion. Then the city is spending $3.5 million on assistance to businesses and cultural organizations on these specific targeted programs that are listed here. Another example is the city is spending $2.4 million on HVAC improvements at city-owned facilities. So this is our libraries, our rec centers, police and fire facilities, and our offices. This is making significant upgrades to our ventilation and our air quality for our staff and public that enter those buildings. And then one last example, the city has allocated $1 million for unsheltered services and needs. And that includes things like meal service, site cleanup, and ambassador services. The resolution that's before you today amends the CARES CRF budget to address two key issues. First is the need to redeploy funds from projects that spent less than what was originally estimated. This totals $1.17 million that the resolution would redeploy to River Center's COVID costs and needs, a third round of bridge fund aid to small businesses, and additional HVAC improvements for city buildings. Second, the resolution creates more time for 6 projects that will not meet the November 15th spending deadline for CARES CRF funds. That totals just about $3.54 million. To address these two needs, the resolution expends CARES CRF on eligible expenses by the November 15th deadline, including $4.5 million on public safety payroll for COVID response and mitigation. Then the resolution makes general fund and HRA funds available to complete the work on these 6 projects in response to the pandemic. To make general fund and to make HRA funds available to complete this work, the resolution also reduces HRA transfers into the general fund, allowing bridge fund payments to be made from the HRA. And just to note, a separate HRA resolution will be needed to make the needed changes to the HRA's spending. With that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much for the report and especially for the creativity here. We want to spend every penny we can. So I really do appreciate the work and effort that it has taken to get these CARES dollars out the door. So thank you so much for the summary. Are there questions for Ms. Logsdon? Ms. Prince?
No question, but just to reiterate what you just said, Council President Brenmoen, I was so concerned, all of us were so concerned about the looming November 15th deadline and the creativity of staff and to be able to figure all this out is very much appreciated. And I also want to call out those digital access funds that were shared with our community partners. The Santa Foundation in my ward has been doing amazing work on helping families with distance learning through a great setup that they have put together in the gym at the Conway Rec Center. And I believe it was a model for some of the other work that was done by the other organizations, Hallie Q. Brown, Neighborhood House, Keystone, and oh shoot, who am I missing? But in any event, being able to share those dollars with our community partners just really extends our reach in the community. So this is all good news. And thank you, Ms. Logsdon, because this was confusing and you made it simple for us today.
Very digestible. Thank you so much. Any other comments on this resolution? All right, and this actually was, this is technical. We'll just take it as it's written, but when there's not a change in the budget, there's actually not a requirement for a public hearing. So nevertheless, we had it published as a public hearing, so we have taken comments online, and therefore Ms. Prince would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Tolbert?
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, I don't have a hand. My hand button is gone.
Well, glad it's just your hand button and not your hand.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Tolbert.
Oh, it popped back up there. Of course. Before we vote, I just want to take a moment to recognize our staff, both Ms. Logsdon and Mr. McCarthy and his entire team. A lot of people who aren't on this, because they did a lot of important work and behind the scenes to do all this, and it shouldn't be forgotten how much behind the scenes work needed to be done. We're really lucky to have gotten the CARES money, I think, both as a government and I know people who got those individual allocations that really made a big difference in helping people get by these past couple months. Quite frankly, we need a second stimulus package badly, both individuals in our community, but also, you know, we're going to be struggling next year as we're seeing, and we're struggling with the budget and the changes. And I know our school districts are struggling, and a lot of people are, but this was a really important thing, but it took a lot of work for our staff to do this, and we appreciate it, but we should also appreciate all the work that our staff did on this. So thank you, OFS. We appreciate you, and your work didn't go unnoticed by us, at least. Even though unnoticed, I think in OFS is usually it's a good sign.
All right, any other discussions on the motion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted.
Ms. Prince moves suspension of the rules. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. Rules are suspended. RLHBO 20-51, granting an additional stay of enforcement of Council File RLHBO 20-47, a decision on an appeal of a fire correction notice complaint inspection, including condemnation at 1544 Beach Street.
And I believe we have a staff report from Ms. Mormond.
Yes, Council President. I will try to keep this brief. This is the third time in the past 6 weeks this property has been in front of you related to this condemnation order to vacate. There is no functioning heat system at this property. Clearly, one needs one in Minnesota this time of year, although we're blessed this week that wasn't the case in October for unseasonably cold weather. At the time that the condemnation was issued on September 17th, the property was being heated with space heaters. That was the case when I conducted a legislative hearing, and therefore my recommendation to you originally was to grant an extension from the department's original vacate date of October 6th to October 20th, so 2 additional weeks for resolution to be reached. During that time period, the tenants filed a rent escrow action and later worked with SMERL, Southern Minnesota Regional Legal Services, to file an emergency tenant remedy action. There have been 2 court hearings on this. Prior to the first hearing, I asked the City Council to stay the order to vacate from its original October 20th date to November 3rd to allow the court process to take place and hopefully reach some resolution. During the ensuing time period, the furnace was replaced. However, it was replaced without benefit of permit by someone who is not qualified to do that in the city. Without having a permit being pulled, we don't know if the electrical gas connections are safe and accurately done, and we don't know about the venting being safe. This is something that the court system can engage, and I would recommend 1 additional stay of enforcement of the vacate order. And to do that under the same conditions as the previous stay you issued, which was for use of the space heaters that has to be in conjunction with the manufacturer's recommendations, so proper clearances around the space heaters, and that they need to be attended to at all times. So they should not be used while someone is sleeping, for example. The tenants have been extremely cooperative and responsible around this. The second condition I would recommend if you grant an additional stay on the order to vacate would be that the furnace not be used to heat the house pending its inspection. I am concerned that it in and of itself presents a safety hazard. The court will next consider this on November 17th, and so I will ask you to consider a separate resolution, which won't be under suspension of rules, on November 18th as to whether there is anything that would indicate that an additional stay would be in order. This is a hazardous condition, whether it's the house is being heated by space heaters or by a furnace which is improperly installed, and it shouldn't be allowed to continue much longer. The court has taken steps, and they're outlined in the attachments to your record that should help to move things along. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right. Switching screens here. So Ms. Prince. Oops, you're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President Brenmoen, and thank you, Ms. Mormond. This is a very tough case. We are really lucky to have Ms. Mormond's wisdom and advice on this. I feel like she has gone way beyond the call of duty to try to figure this out and to try to keep everyone safe. And so I want to thank Ms. Mormond, and with that, I'll move approval.
All right, so Ms. Prince moves a recommendation of the legislative hearing officer. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Was that the recommendation? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Ms. Mormon had said.
Ms. Mormond.
Yeah, adoption of the resolution is my recommendation.
Okay.
Adoption would grant a stay.
Great, thank you. Sorry, my pages are hung up here. The legislative hearing officer received no objections, so she recommends adoption of the following resolutions. Item 34, RLH VBR 20-67, 686 Edmond Avenue. Item 36, RLH SAO 20-44, 400 Hatch Avenue. Item 37, RLH SAO 20-41, 598 LaFond Avenue. Item 39, RLH BO 20-48, 1017 Rainy Avenue. Item 47, RLH TA 20-649, 693 Butternut Avenue. Item 43, RLH TA 20-650, 693 Butternut Avenue. And item 44, RLH TA 20-651, 693 Butternut Avenue. And the motion is to adopt these items.
Ms. Dinker moves to close the public hearing and adopt. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearings are closed and the resolutions are adopted. For the following item, no objection to the legislative hearing officer's amended recommendation was received, and therefore she recommends amending and adoption of item 41, RLH RR 20-39, 2022 Stillwater Avenue. So that's again to amend and adopt.
Ms. Prince moves to amend and adopt this item. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Yeah.
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted as amended. For the following item, the legislative hearing officer's recommendation is to continue the public hearing to November 18th. Item 31, RLH SAO 20-24, 2233 Energy Park Drive. And again, the motion is to continue public hearing to November 18th.
So moved by Ms. Jalali. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to November 18th. For the following item, the legislative hearing officer's recommendation is to continue the public hearing to January 12th of 2021. Item 40, RLH VO 20-46, 1547 Sherburne Avenue. And again, the motion is to continue the public hearing to January 12th.
Sorry, which item was that?
Item 40, number 4 on her list.
All right, so moved by Ms. Jalali. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to January 12th. For the following item, the legislative hearing officer's recommendation is contested and additional testimony from the appellant is in the record. Item 38, RLH RR 19-30, ordering the rehabilitation and raising and removal of the structures at 1904 Princeton Avenue.
All right. Any?
I think Ms.
Council
Mormon had
President
staff
Brenmoen,
report.
a brief staff report. In
Ms.
this case, I am recommending that the council amend the resolution to change it to be, instead of 180 days to remove or repair, 15 days to remove or repair, to change it to be 15 days for removal only. I've been working with the property owner and property owner's attorney for over a year to try to reach some resolution on this matter, looking first of all for posting of a performance deposit, which has occurred. And then secondly, the conduct of a code compliance inspection of the property. This is a hoarded property. It has been hoarded since at least 2007 when the city condemned it. This recommendation is contested, and we did receive a letter from the attorney, Mr. Stephen Anderson, who's representing the owner. That letter was included in the record this morning when we received it. At about 5 minutes after the council meeting began this afternoon, we heard from the attorney indicating that he would like to provide testimony to the city council. We had sent him a letter on October 13th indicating that we would happy to be add him to the agenda, but he needed to let us know by noon today. So obviously we didn't hear from him to be able to add him into this meeting, which was already underway. And because of that, I think that the only prudent thing to do, given the gravity of the order that you would be issuing, would be to continue the public hearing for 2 weeks to allow him to testify and provide you with additional information on this matter. So I would ask for continuing the public hearing to November 18th.
Okay. Are there any questions for Ms. Mormond on this item? All right. Thank you, Ms. Mormond. Mr. Tolbert.
Yeah, I will support the recommendation of the hearing officer and move that continue. Is it a continuance? Yeah.
Continue to November 18th?
Correct. Thank you.
All right. So moved by Mr. Tolbert. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to November 18th.
I believe that brings us to the end of our agenda. Is that correct?
It is.
I was trying to save pages when I printed, so it looked like the end. Just offering it up there. If folks have anything they'd like to share above and beyond the record turnout of voters in Ramsey County, I look to Ms. Jalali.
Just 3 words, count every vote. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Aker.
Thank you, Council President. Just wanted to remind colleagues and other staff about the city's Kristallnacht commemoration ceremony next Tuesday, November 10th at 12 noon to 1 p.m. There's going to be a keynote speaker, Ken Engel, who's a respected scholar and teacher of Holocaust history, and it'll be live streamed through Teams. So hope folks can make it. The committee has really been working hard, and as you may know, we weren't able to have Holocaust Remembrance Day this year due to COVID, and so this is kind of an attempt to still do that kind of commemoration. So hope you can be there. I will be emceeing.
Thank you, Councilmember Naker. Other comments from folks, news from the ward, other information? It's been a long day week. And thanks for everybody for their work in moving democracy forward. Again, huge turnout of voters in Ramsey County, which is a feather in our cap and something we should be proud of more than any other election ever. So fantastic work. If there is nothing else to come before us today, then we will be adjourned. Thank you very much for a wonderful meeting. And happy Veterans Day.
Important thing. We know these recommendations mean disruption to your lives, but they are so important. We need to slow the spread of the virus so that we don't overwhelm our hospitals and clinics. Thank you for doing